Michael Myers is one of the most iconic slashers in the history of cinema. Laurie Strode was the original Scream Queen. These two have been on a collision course for decades. And in 2018, a direct sequel to the original Halloween called Halloween came out. And frankly, it was pretty damn good. It was the right amount of terror, gore, suspense, and action. And Michael looked like a world beater. It could have ended there, but we got a sequel that was divisive? Some hated it, some liked it. Altogether, we all collectively waited with bated breath to see if Halloween Ends could stick the landing. A definitive ending. And it sorta tried? Look, I appreciate David for what he was trying to go for, and if I'm being honest, with more rewatches, I can understand, but I don't think that the execution was there. So, here I am, a lonely YouTuber with an idea. What if I was allowed to rewrite Halloween Ends? Also, really quick disclaimer, I'm not saying I'm a better writer or director than Mr. Green. Lord knows I don't have to deal with executive meddling. This is sort of a creative exercise. That said, let's go. Halloween Ends. So, my version of the movie begins with, Corey accidentally killing that kid, leading straight into a title card. We also get a voiceover about how every single Halloween there are killings. We get a montage of Michael Myers going on a rampage, killing people in various ways in various locations. But every single year, Laurie and the cops are unable to get a beat on where Michael is. Laurie is, trying to live a balanced life. She's trying to be a mother figure to Allison while being normal. She's also trying to hunt and kill and prep for Michael every single Halloween on the 31st. Now, the film is mostly the same up until the point that Corey goes back to Michael for a second time. Except we get more moments of people calling Corey the monster of Haddonfield. They need someone to blame after all for the death of that child. And the whole town, infected with this virus of anger and hate, pour it all into one unfortunate kid. During the day on October 29th, Laurie and Allison go to a pumpkin patch to get some pumpkins, but they also end up having a heart-to-heart. Laurie tells Allison that she's sorry for the years of pain, she's sorry for the years of exclusion, and we even get parts of Laurie's flashback to a time when she was growing up, to a time where she became an alcoholic woman, paranoid, until she gave birth, and she became a predator and a hunter. She had to be strong because she had Karen, Laurie's mother. Allison also takes the time to tell her grandmother she knows that she's a survivor, but she can also be Laurie Strode, the person. You can enjoy love and happiness. It's not always about the hunt. It's not always going after Michael. Sheriff Hawkins shows up, and we get a little more awkward flirting there. Laurie tells him about her book, how it's almost done, that her story is just about over. While Laurie's at the grocery store, she runs into Corey's mother. Corey's mother goes off on Laurie, telling her, blaming her, she's the reason why the whole town hates her son. She created the boogeyman, and now the whole town has to hate someone, and if they can't find Michael, then they'll deal with Corey. On the 29th, while Allison and Corey are at a party, we see that they're being watched, not by Michael, but by Allison's ex. That cop, creep, whatnot. Anyway, Corey's walking home when the cop tries to intimidate him, and ends up pushing him over a bridge, and he falls. But before the cop can do anything else to Corey, Michael intervenes, killing the cop. He offers the knife to Corey, but Corey refuses. He goes home and gets kicked out, his mother, not knowing where he was, finally having enough of him. Corey, left with nowhere else to go, ends up spending the night at the old Allen house. It's abandoned now. The house where that unfortunate accident took place. During the day on the 30th, Laurie gets a call from Sheriff Hawkins. A body's been discovered. Laurie writes it off because it's not the 31st yet. However, Hawkins says there's something different about this murder. It was vicious. Something Michael would do. Maybe something's breaking his pattern? Laurie takes out a big case full of weapons and begins to search. Meanwhile, Corey surprises Allison at work with lunch. It's at that point that we find out that the nurse and the doctor are having an affair, and Allison got passed up for a promotion. That evening, on October 30th, Corey is riding down the street when he comes across a car in a field. He finds that the cop and the nurse are inside of it, both dead. That evening on October 30th, the good doctor and the nurse decide to have some fun in their car, somewhere out, somewhere secluded. However, Michael finds them and kills both of them. Corey ends up coming across the bodies as well, seeing them, thinking to report it, but then thinking, no, he'll get blamed, and he runs off. However, when he does, there's another witness. Those high school bullies. They know Corey killed the doctor and the nurse, right? The bodies are discovered on October 31st. Corey is arrested after eyewitnesses came forward, obviously those band geeks, and it's all over the radio. The monster of Haddonfield has been arrested for committing another crime. Allison is able to talk to Corey and he explains everything to her. He insists he didn't kill anyone, he found the bodies. Allison isn't quite sure what to believe. Allison tells Lori, but Lori tells her to drop it. It's time to go hunting. It's the 31st. It's time to find Michael Myers. It's Halloween after all. And then this is when we get a few set pieces. Michael goes into a radio station to kill the DJ, but right before he kills the DJ, he hears him talking about Corey, how the monster of Haddonfield is in prison. Michael then sets fire to the radio station and makes a beeline for Corey. At the same time, Lori is driving around looking for Michael, and that's when Allison points out to her that there seems to be some kind of weird connection between Corey and Michael. They keep seemingly gravitating towards each other. Lori thinks that they can use this to their advantage, but there's no way they can get Corey out of jail, at least not legally. Sheriff Hawkins calls the police station, telling them to prepare for a Michael Myers attack. However, the cops are rather spread thin. There have been multiple sightings of Michael all over the place, and with multiple fires being set all around town, they're scarce, and there's very few of them. He cuts the lights and starts offing cops one by one. Right at the end is when Lori and Allison are able to get Corey out. Lori tries to go after Michael, but Allison tells her, stick to the plan, he has to follow us. An alert goes out that Corey has escaped from jail, so those bullies, both high and drunk, go to the one place they know Corey will be, his father's rec yard. And that's when we get a great action sequence of Michael killing these bullies. On the way to the Allen house, we get aerial shots showing Michael making a beeline for the home. The town is going nuts, but at this point, Lori, Allison, and Corey set up various traps throughout the house to try and take down Michael. Once Michael is inside, we get various sequence of him hunting each of the three down one by one, injuring them where they are able to injure him a few times. At this point, Allison gets knocked out with the house is set ablaze, and we get a moment for Lori and Corey to speak to one another. They both say how they're out of time, but someone has to stay in the house to make sure Michael dies. And it's at this point that we get two bridging sequences. There's version 1 and version 2. Version 1, Lori stays in the house to keep Michael trapped. She dies battling him in the flames. The film ends with a memorial being built in Lori's name, with Allison having her memoirs published. Allison and Corey leave the town of Haddonfield. Finally, once and for all, the story's over. Now, why this ending? Because I think people want to see Lori be the one to finish the job. She's a survivor. She's been a survivor this whole time. Now, what if we make her the hunter? What if we make her the one to kill Michael Myers? The one scream queen, the one final girl to get the win. And then there's version 2. Version 2, Corey convinces Lori that he's the one that has to stay, that Allison's going to need her, that he needs to do this, he needs to redeem himself. He has to kill the real monster of Haddonfield. Corey locks Allison and Lori out while he fights Michael throughout the house. Slash after slash, hit after hit, Michael has Corey dead to rights until Corey manages to stab Michael in one of his eyes with a hanger. With Michael now completely blind, Corey ties a chain around Michael's neck and nail guns it down to the floor. Soon after the house collapses, both men confirmed killed in the fire. Corey is seen as a hero to the town with a memorial being built in his name. In this ending, Allison still leaves, but Lori stays and begins to date Hawkins. The credits play with Lori and Hawkins smiling at each other while the song Mr. Sandman begins to play. And that's my ending. Now, why this ending? Because I like the idea of a person trying to redeem themselves and proving the entire town wrong. On the other side of a coin, I like the idea of Lori being happy, having the chance to have this relationship with Hawkins and move on with her life, with what years she has left. The only real downside I hear to this second part is people arguing, what, Lori can't finish off Michael Myers? To which my response is, hasn't Lori suffered enough? Hasn't she earned the right to be happy? Maybe that's just me. To me, this seems like the most plausible rewrite to Halloween Kills that maybe hits all the beats. We get a lot more Michael Myers, a lot more killing, a lot more character development, and someone to root for. And I'm not trying to rewrite the entire new Halloween trilogy. I feel like the first one was great, the second one was... and the third one was the most divisive of them all. So hopefully this gives a satisfying ending to most horror fans. But what did y'all think? Go ahead and comment down below. We'd greatly appreciate it. We hope you subscribe, and I think we'll be doing more of these rewrites. What's next? Captain Marvel, maybe?